Yo, what's good everybody? It's your boy Eddie here. Welcome back to the experience. And as you guys can see right here, we have the Aime Dore New Balance 550s. But before we get into that, make sure that you guys smash that like button. And if you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe down below and hit the notification bell. And just getting right into the meat and potato, guys, we have the Aime Dore New Balance 550s, specifically in the Evergreen colorway right here. And when looking at the details of the box, you can see we have a predominantly sail yellow box with some green New Balance details as well as some silver lining within. Now on this side of the box, as you guys can see right there, we have an illustration of the New Balance 550 in this kind of sail and green color. And then when you actually look at the details on this side of the box, it actually says New Balance Aime Dore right there. And then next, when you go onto this side of the shoe, you can actually see that silver and green lining that I was talking about. Then when you turn onto this side of the box, it's pretty much the same exact thing right there. And finally, we have our sticker tag, which I'll read to you guys in a second. So the sticker reads as BB 550 ALD, Basketball 550 Aime Dore. It says New Balance men's, and then it's actually a size 7.5. So I didn't go with my true to size of a size 8 with this sneaker. As I mentioned in my previous New Balance 550 with the burgundy colorway, I actually feel more comfortable going a half size down, because when I got the size 8, there was actually a little bit of space, and I usually like my shoes to fit kind of like a sock. So with the 550s, I always go with a half size down. So let's just open the lid. Now that we're opening the lid, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I do not like the feel of this box at all. It doesn't feel secure, and to be honest, I feel like if my package was to get scrunched, that my sneakers would get affected too. Fortunately for me, that didn't happen, but really you can just see how bendable this is. This is not protecting your shoe at all. Wax tissue paper isn't gonna save your sneakers either, so that's just something to know. But let's just get right into these babies right here, man. These New Balance 550s are super clean, y'all. But before we get into the details of the shoe, let's go over the history of it real quick. So when actually looking at the history of this shoe, let's start with the brand Aime Dore. So it was actually started in Queens, New York in 2014, I believe, by the creator Teddy Santis. And actually looking at the inspiration behind Aime Dore, it's pretty cool because Aime in French means love. Leon was the nickname that Teddy Santis' dad gave him when he was a kid, so that's a tribute to that. And then Dore is actually a play on his actual full name. So instead of Teddy, his actual real name is Theodore. So obviously when you put everything together, Aime Dore, that's the brand name, and that's the inspiration behind it, which is pretty dope. Then when you actually look at the history between Aime Dore and New Balance, I believe that they've been collaborating for the past 2 or 3 years, with their first model being the New Balance 997. But to be honest, I think this was the model that really took them to the moon. Personally, for me, if I had to choose between my ALD and New Balance collaborations, I would have to say the 827 Absorbs is definitely one of the best collaborations in my opinion, especially the yellow colorway. And honestly, it's really crazy that I haven't copped it yet, because the resale on it isn't even high. Like, I think it's close to retail right now. Maybe the prices went up, but even so, that's a pretty good buy for the Absorb 827s. So anyways, that's gonna conclude the history between the ALD and New Balance 550 collaboration. So let's get right into the details, all right? Now when looking at the details of the shoe, the New Balance 550 is normally a pretty simple pair. However, with the ALD modifications, I think it's a pretty dope shoe. So starting off with the lateral side, you guys can see that it's a predominantly all white leather upper. However, my favorite detail about this shoe is the cracked leather end on the New Balance right there. So as you guys can see, we have this green cracked leather end, and then you can actually see that there's this sail overlay right on top of it. Then when we go into the front of the shoe, we have this 550, which is standard to all New Balance 550s. Then when we go into the toe box, we have this pretty unique toe box, which is really cool to me because it makes this kind of like N or L shape. Is really interesting. And instead of it being suede like the standard 550s, it's actually in this beautiful soft leather right here. Next, when we go into the top of the tongue surrounding the eyelets, we have these leather trims, which is pretty dope and makes the shoe pop. And then we have this mesh sail tongue as well as all white laces. And then when we look at the tongue tab, it's not the standard 550 tongue tag, it's the Aime Dore version, which is pretty dope and pretty clean in my opinion. And then when we look in the insole, it's nothing special, it just says New Balance right there. Then when we go into the back heel area by the ankle collar, you can see that we have this evergreen leather trim right there. Then when we go into the back of the shoe, which is standard to all 550s, we have this faded New Balance logo, which is pretty dope in my opinion. Then when we go on to the medial side, the same thing pretty much follows suit. We have our evergreen trims as well as the cracked leather end right there. Then when going back onto the lateral side, you can see that we have this beautiful sail midsole right there. And then we also have some New Balance and NB detailing right there. And when we go onto the outsole, we have this beautiful New Balance 550 traction pattern. Look how unique it looks, man. It's so clean in my opinion. And we also have some sail hits right there as well. That's pretty much gonna conclude the right side of the shoe. So let's look into this left side of the shoe real quick. So what's really interesting about this is that we have all white laces, but we actually get this extra pair of sail laces right there, which is gonna make the shoe pop even more. So if you guys saw my previous video with the pair of Air Max ones, you guys know that I love the sail laces, and if it's given as an option, I'll definitely put it on to make the shoe pop even more. And then finally, the shoe is pretty much the same other than the back heel area. So as you guys saw, we had that faded New Balance logo. However, we have the Aime Dore, which is the only difference between the left and the right shoe, which is pretty dope. So other than that, y'all, that's pretty much gonna conclude the overall review. So let's get into this on for look, all right? Alright, y'all, so that's going to conclude the overall review. This was the on-fold look, and other than that, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to share with your friends and your family. Make sure to smash that like button. And if you see anything that you like throughout the video, or if you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe down below and hit that notification bell. And other than that, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.